It's question and answer day. And boy, do I have some questions.
I saw him standing there, sad look in his eye. The kids ran to the playground, but each one passed him by. He was just a new kid here. But then I saw his face. My mama's words raced through my mind. It was like I heard her saying, be a good teacher and do it every day. One kind deed will go so far to make this world a better place.
Be a good teacher
And you may be surprised. Doing good to others makes you feel so good inside.
Oops.
Slowly I walked up to him. I said, what's your name? His eyes began to sparkle and a smile crossed his face. He's not a stranger anymore. Now
He's my friend.
My
Life has been better.
all because my mama said,
Be a good teacher and you.
every day. One kind deed will go so far to make this world a better place. Be a good teacher and you may be surprised. Doing good to others makes you feel so good inside.
Ooh, ooh.
It makes you feel, makes you feel,
Makes you feel, makes you feel so good inside.
makes you feel,
I feel
makes you feel,
so
makes you feel, makes you feel so good inside. It makes you feel, makes you feel, makes you feel, makes you feel so good inside. It makes you feel, makes you feel, makes you feel, it makes you feel so good inside.
Get with it, y'all.
One kind deed will go so far to make this world a better place. Be a good teacher and you may be surprised. Doing good to others makes you feel so good inside. Be a good teacher and do it every day. One kind deed will go so far to make this world a better place.
Okay, folks, get in here. Please share our videos because when you share our videos, we'll draw a name every Wednesday night. Liz makes a cute little video, and I'm going to show you the video right now and announce who won our little giveaway this week. So let me hit the play button because it goes fast.
This is week 2 for Fly Lady share drawing. Gemma, mix the bucket up and pick out the name.
Look at her girly girl dress.
Pick out the winner. Pick the winner. Go ahead, Mikey. Open it up.
Big one.
Eileen Chord Thompson. Congratulations.
Woo-hoo! Congratulations!
They're so cute. I'm telling you, that is just adorable. That's Liz's babies. And Mikey's not a baby. He's a big boy. And Gemma is just a gem. That's what she is. So they've got some fun stuff planned for next week, y'all. So please share our videos. Every time you share, she puts your name in that bucket. Next week, I think Mikey's going to have to hold the bucket because y'all had so many shares this week. So keep sharing. And next week, the kids are going to draw another name. So Liz, post the name in the chat. Elaine, let me see if I can roll it backwards. There it is. Elaine, Chord Thompson. No, it's Eileen Eileen Thompson. So, y'all keep sharing. The kids will keep drawing. It's going to be a fun summer, I'm telling you. So, I've got questions. 5 pages of it. What got into y'all? I'm telling you. 5 pages. And I forgot my microphone on. Okay, so let's just jump in. Any tips for keeping anxiety away while cleaning? Well, number 1, don't call it cleaning. Call it blessing your home. You know, when you're blessing something, that's from God. You deserve to have a clean home. But I want you to look at why you're feeling anxious. You know, we've had people send us testimonials where they would be standing at the kitchen sink washing dishes, squalling her eyes out. And she realized it was because that was punishment at their house. Punishment. Mama made them wash the dishes when they got punished. And it's your house. Nobody's making you do anything. You do it because you love yourself, you love your family, you love your home. You do everything out of love, and it changes everything, folks. Back to Eileen. Eileen, get in contact with Liz. Liz, you get in contact with Eileen and get her mailing address, because we need your mailing address, y'all, to be able to ship things to you. Okay, so figure out what it is, what you're feeling, what this anxiety is from. Is it something from the past that you can't control right now? Acknowledge it, and that will help make it go away. Is your fear of letting things go because your mama used to come into your room and just strip your room down to the bare furniture? Look at it. It's your home. It's not anybody else's. It's yours. So put on some fun music. That will help you to get rid of the anxiety. Do small, 2 minutes. Set your timer for 2 minutes and get up and do 2 minutes. And if that doesn't help, you may need to go see somebody. But get enough sleep, eat well, take your supplements, and put on some fun music and make a game out of it. Because who wants to be anxious when you're playing a game? And quit calling it cleaning, for God's sakes. It's blessing your home. How to not feel shame when my children see I am not a good housekeeper. Well, first off, shame is from the devil. Let it go. Your children have lived with you their whole life. They don't know this. They don't know any other way. So they don't see things the way you do. But if you want to change the way they think about things, which I don't care what anybody thinks. I mean, I'm my own person. If you don't like the way I keep house, you don't have to come to my house. And if your children are grown, then they don't have to come to your house. But if you want to see changes in the way your children react to you, get your house in order. Quit whining and start getting rid of your clutter. If it bothers you, do something about it. You're the one that has 2 hands, and you're the one that's in control. Start with one room. Start with one flat surface. And it will be contagious throughout your whole home if you'll just start small. Got it? Don't feel shame. Get determined to get rid of the clutter, because that's what it is. Clutter is making your home feel like it's closing in on you. And the cleaner you get the home, the more the kids are going to come around. I love how you close your shows. I need the reminder to be good, kind, and sweet. How can I be good, kind, and sweet when I often feel like a grouch? Well, you're not getting enough sleep. Plain and simple. You're not getting enough sleep. So get some sleep and quit being irritable, as Michelle used to say. These kids, Michelle is the grandmother of Mikey and Gemma. If you're irritable, nobody wants to be around you. So get plenty of sleep, drink your water. You're going to feel a whole lot better when you're drinking your water every day. Keep up with your glasses of water you're drinking. But I'm going to keep reminding you to be good. Be good to yourself. To be kind to others. And to be sweet. Love others. Love people. Love your neighbor. This is what the Bible teaches us. Be good, kind, and sweet. How does one become capable? Especially on days when everything breaks, goes wrong, or the traffic is so thick I can't get anywhere I want to go. How does one become capable? Especially when the days when everything breaks. I think we make things break with our attitudes. I believe this with all my heart. If you think things are going to go wrong, boy, they will. They will go wrong, and I think you've brought it down on yourself. What you think about, you bring about. You know, if you think your kids are making you feel ashamed, you're going to be ashamed. Stop it. I am going to take care of my home. I'm going to clean off this flat surface. I'm going to work around my living room cleaning off every flat surface. You know, this is a fun game to play in your kitchen. We're in the kitchen next week, by the way, y'all. When you're in the kitchen, clear off your countertops. You're going to be blown away at how good they look when you clean off the clutter from your kitchen counters. You start being immune to what's on your kitchen counter. Start clearing it off. So how does one become more capable? It's called hit a lick at a snake. Get up and do something. I mean, I'm watching a video last night of a guy who built a cabin, just a little bitty, 12 by 15 cabin with hand tools. Hand tools. A saw, an auger, hand tools. It can be done. We don't need all the stuff that we have. You become capable by jumping in and doing something, even if it's not right. See, we get stuck in our perfectionism, and our perfectionism keeps us from doing anything because we think we need this to get started, when all we need to do is take a bag full of clutter to the trash or a bag full of clutter to the car to donate the next time you're out. And if you know what time the traffic is bad, go a different way. Take a path or stay home until the traffic. I mean, if I have to go through Atlanta to go anywhere, I know not to be in Atlanta between 7 and 10 in the morning. I know not to go through Atlanta at that time. Either go at 6 a.m. and go through Atlanta, which means I would need to leave the house at 3. But I know when to not be in Atlanta traffic. And I know how to go around Atlanta if I'm going to the south. And I know how to go around Atlanta if I'm going to the west. I know how to go. So I don't go through Atlanta. So find a different path. And quit thinking everything's going to fall apart, because you'll be right. To clear a cluttered garage that I can't park my car in, should I divide it into zones? Well, we had to get a dumpster. We couldn't park our car in our garage because we had so much stuff in there. And Robert was getting a new car in, I think it was 2013. And it was a car that needed to be charged. And so we decided to clear out the clutter. And it had become a catch-all. And we got a dumpster and we started putting things in the dumpster. You're going to need to donate as much stuff as possible. Robert built some shelves in the garage once we got through to get to the wall where we could put some things up. He built some shelves to organize things. He put some hooks and stuff on the wall to hang our tools, our yard tools. We had a garbage can to put other tools in that stood up like a vase. And I would just start digging in, one box at a time. Reach in, do what we call 5-minute room rescue. Go out there, and you don't have to spend all day, but just go out there and spend an hour. Just spend an hour in the garage. But don't move things from one side to the other. Pick things, and they either have to go someplace else or go into your car to give away or throw away. Have a garbage can handy. And use contractor garbage bags. They're huge. And you can fill those things up and you can put it in the trash. Dividing it into zones isn't going to work because you need to start in the middle. Now, if you wanted to start in the middle and start clearing things out in the middle, because that's where the car is going to go, just then start in the middle. Start with the first thing you see. Okay, we've done one page. We've got 4 more to go. What is Fly Lady's tip for washing and drying laundry to not have so many wrinkles? This is real easy, y'all. Dry your clothes on delicate. And maybe use a delicate spin cycle on your washing machine. And a lot of times you can take a shirt, and it's called blocking. I use an example with this pink rag. You got a t-shirt. You don't have to dry everything, y'all. You don't have to dry everything. But you can take a shirt and pull it on its diagonals like this and like this and then like this and put it on a hanger. Or you can put it on the hanger first and then do that while it's on the hanger. And you can stretch the wrinkles out. Now, I dry everything on delicate. My clothes get dried on delicate. So even if I miss getting them out of the dryer on time, I just turn the dryer back on for a minute or two and the wrinkles just fall out. But they don't get pressed in with really hot. You know, try curling your hair when your curling brush is on cool. It doesn't work well. It just doesn't work. But if it's on hot, you can get a curl in it because it's gonna do it. Same thing with your dryer. If you put it on hot, you're gonna set those wrinkles. What we want to do is gently dry it. And when you get things out of the washing machine, you can sort of block those things while they're wet too. But not everything has to be dried. So that's my tip for no wrinkles. Another thing I've done, I've worn a lot of, when I was going through menopause, I wore a lot of linen and cotton, 100% cotton, and it was really wrinkly. And I would take it out of the wash machine, set my iron up, and iron it while it was wet. Yeah, and then hang it up. I have almost no storage space. Any creative ideas? Well, the storage space that you have, you need to clean out. That's the first thing. because you have so many things you don't use that are stuck in your what storage you have. If you need some ideas for storage, look on Pinterest. There's some great ideas. Look on YouTube at some RVs. They have great storage ideas because they utilize every single inch of space. Next time you buy a new living room suit, get my daughter-in-law has this, son and daughter-in-law. They have a stool, a hassock, that opens up and they store things in it. If you've got a table in your room, put some baskets underneath it. Yeah, I've got baskets underneath the table over there, 6 of them. 2 little flat ones and 4 other ones. They fit right under the table. What's some other? I don't really like storage under a bed, but under a child's bed is you can get some sweater boxes. I used to have a bed right here, and I had 3 rolling sweater boxes under there for storage. Now I've moved all that to those baskets over there, but I've culled it down where I don't have as much stuff, and getting rid of clutter is going to help you with your storage more than you know. And in the RVs, they get these cloth collapsible drawers, and I have collapsible shelving in my hall closet that I keep those little drawers in. Sometimes I use Amazon boxes for drawers, and I use those hanging organizers. So I take part of the space that I would use for hanging clothes and make it into drawers for bathroom storage. I use Amazon boxes for storage underneath my bathroom sink because I can make them and they slide right out. So get rid of the clutter. You're going to have more storage than you know. I also like plastic shoe boxes that you can get for a couple of dollars at the dollar store. And I store supplements in those and lots of other good stuff. So I have a shelf in this closet that I keep those things in. How do you feel free of a connection I have with something I bought? I have a lot of clutter, but I feel like since I spent money on it, I can't give it away. Well, if you try to sell it at a yard sale, you're going to feel even worse. But when you give it away and bless someone else with that, well, you got to give up the guilt, because the guilt is from the devil. Shame is from the devil. You've got to give up the guilt. And when you bless someone else with that, one time I had a mug, also had a teapot, that when I looked at it, it gave me sad memories. But when I blessed someone else with it, it gave me happy memories. So it's all about the value that's added when you give it away. You can't get back the money you spent on it. You can't do that. You just can't do that. But let's just say you had a box full of Beanie Babies. You can donate those to the police department, and they can use those Beanie Babies to help little kids that are in crisis. That way you're giving those Beanie Babies a new home and a new purpose. So let them go. When you give it away, it gives it more value than whatever you paid for it. It changes everything. So quit getting mad at yourself. You're not loving yourself when you feel this guilt over having purchased that. Don't do that to yourself, because we go to yard sales and we'll spend $1 on something and we'll beat ourselves up if we never use it, and you have to put it back in a yard sale and sell it for $0.25. I mean, that's 75 cents. We beat ourselves up when we mess up a pan of biscuits. Stop it. Stop it. Let it go. Bless others with your abundance. When decluttering old products, including half-full aerosol cans, what's the best way to discard them? Well, most everything can be put in the trash. I know that from being a county commissioner. But if you have to take things to a landfill, sometimes they have a free day when you can bring, cans of paint and cans of spray paint. Check with your sanitation department and see what they usually have a website that you can look at and figure out what to do. But don't hold on to things because you're afraid you're not going to dispose of them the right way. Call and, we have anti-procrastination day each week, and just ask if you can throw these things in the trash, because it's not worth holding on to them and letting your home become a landfill. You don't want that. You've got to get the clutter out of your house. And spray cans lose their ability to spray, and they are clutter. So call the sanitation department. Most everything can go in the trash, though. Now, at our sanitation department, when I was county commissioner for 6 years, they would take the old cans of paint and shake it up and paint the inside of the green boxes, the big bins that they would just have volunteer people that would come. Well, they were doing community service work for having done something bad, but they'd have them paint the inside of the green boxes to keep. Didn't matter what color what color it was. Paint was paint. I have an obsession with candles. I roughly have at least 50 different ones. My husband thinks they're clutter. Do you have any suggestions on how many I should keep out in the open, and are they worth donating? A lot of people take candles and make different candles. So yeah, you could donate some, but keep your five. Five is a good number. 5 favorite ones. And I have a box of candles that are for emergencies. What happens if the power goes out and you're out for 3 weeks, which that has happened in the wintertime. So get some candles, clear off the surfaces with all the candles. But, if you have a place in your home that is your spot, you can put candles up in there. Now, I really don't like burning candles. I like battery operated candles because they can't burn your house down. But I like tea lights too. Little tea lights that burn for exactly 4 hours and then they burn themselves out. And votives, they're just cute. It's the ambiance from the candles that you like. So sort of change your candle habit up. Donate candles. Yeah, people get them and they change the color of them and melt them and put them in different containers and do all kinds of things. Keep your 5 favorite and then let them go. Let them go. And then I buy a bag of tea lights. You can get them on Amazon for $5. And when you need candles, you need candles. And I like candles in a glass jar too. I've got candles that I got at shrines that I can light. I keep those in my bathtub. So I get in there and I light these candles and I say prayers. Do you have any suggestions on decluttering children's toys? Each time I try to get rid of something, my kids say, "Oh, I play with that," when really they don't. The best way to declutter your children's toys is to tell them they can have a yard sale. Yeah, it's summertime. And the money that this is the kids making the money, not you making the money, but you have to be there. And you can ask them if you can put some of your stuff in the yard sale, and they get to make money on that too. Because putting it in a yard sale, this is the only time I ever recommend a yard sale, is let the kids do it. And they can take the money they have saved, and movies are back, y'all. People can go to movies again. Not that I would go to movies, because a lot of times they are propaganda, but that's another story. But you can go to an amusement park. You can go to the zoo. You can buy zoo yearly passes. But come up with a goal to spend the money. Maybe you want to go to a swim park, different things in the summertime. But let them have a yard sale to sell their toys. They'll be going in and get toys they played with yesterday to get to go do these things. So set a reward that what they're going to use the money for. Maybe it's going to the ice cream parlor once a week. And just have a fun yard sale. Have a fun yard sale. How often do you recommend washing the critters' bedding? I kind of like to do it in the spring and in the fall. Twice a year. And sometimes I just throw out the bedding I throw out the covers because they drive me nuts, and I get new covers. And I usually have a supply of covers because they're big and they're denim. What zone should we toss in yard work? No, it's not in a zone. Yard work is part of your basic weekly plan. Everybody needs to mow once a week, pretty much. But you need to, right now, I need to get out there and weed eat. Weed eat like crazy. And it's part of your basic weekly plan. Do 15 minutes in your yard every day. Get outside, walk around with clippers, and deadhead your flowers. Just walk around in your garden, in your yard. You know, one day you can weed eat around the edges. The next day you can mow for 15 minutes. The next day you can take a hoe and get rid of some weeds. One day you can spray stuff, fertilizer, something every day. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Okay, it's one page. That's 3 pages we've done, y'all. Robert just took the recycling off. When you mention meal planning, are you referring to meal prepping as well? No. That's piling on. That is piling on. These people who prep for meals, like they take Sunday and they prep all the meals for the whole week to make it easier. Y'all, it takes no time at all to cut up an onion. I've got a video on how to cut up an onion. I did Misfits markets for a while, and I got a bunch of red peppers. I did prep all of those and put them in the freezer. But I pre-cooked them a little bit to stop. I have little packets of red peppers. Maybe I just want a little bit of red peppers for color. But I don't spend all week cutting up onions because I don't want to smell onions in my refrigerator. Onions stay out on the counter. And it takes a minute to cut up an onion, y'all. It takes a minute. And I don't do a lot of prepping to get ready to cook for the whole week. Planning your menus is half the battle. Looking on your calendar at what's for dinner tomorrow, then you can take, let me get the calendar out here. Our squares are big enough to plan your menus. And if you use Post-it note tape, you can just, once you seasonally, you can just move it to the next month after you cooked it, like 3 weeks, 4 weeks down the road. And you can have a menu plan for 5 weeks. That's what's in our control journal. You plan it for 5 weeks, and then they just rotate through until you add something for a new season. I'm looking forward to squash, y'all. I've been craving squash. So I have a recipe for squash casserole. It's to die for. Miss Emily Lewis, who gave me the recipe when I was in women's club, it was just an amazing recipe. But it was steamed squash that you added onion to it and shredded carrots, and you steamed it, and then you cooked that. You smashed all the juice out of it, and then cooked it down, and added a can of cream of chicken soup and a tub of sour cream, and layered it with Pepperidge Farm herb stuffing. Squash, stuffing, squash, stuffing. And put it in the oven. No cheese in it. Okay. I have tons of pots and pans. Oh, I'll go back to the meal planning. So you look on your calendar at what you're supposed to be cooking tomorrow. This is part of your before bed routine. And take it out of the freezer and put it in your refrigerator. Once a week, you look at what's going for next week. Go down to my freezer's in the basement, my big freezer. And I gather up the items I'm going to be cooking this week. So maybe I need a beef roast. I need some hamburger meat. I need some chicken. And I get that out of the freezer from the basement, put it in the freezer upstairs, and then each night I transfer it to the refrigerator to thaw overnight. I have a ton of pots and pans. When I open the cabinet, they literally fall out. How do I store them, and how many do you suggest I keep? We are a family of 6. Well, you probably need some bigger pots and pans if you're a family of 6. But I have 2 big iron skillets because I usually use those all the time. They go in the oven. They cook on top of the stove. I have 1 iron skillet that has a little lip around the bottom, y'all. Little lip around the bottom. And that little lip around the bottom actually insulates a little bit so it doesn't get as hot on my flat top stove. And I like to use that for sauces and things. I have 1 skillet that is seasoned well. I cook my cornbread in it and things that go in the oven. I love that skillet for that. And I make my apple pie in it. It's really interesting. And then I have a little 6-inch iron skillet. Those are my 3 favorite things to cook with. I also have a pasta pot that was a wedding gift. It's a stock pot. So it's like, I don't know how many quarts it is. I would have to measure. It's probably 8 quarts, maybe 6 quarts. I don't know. But it has high sides. And if I don't want things to splatter, I cook my green beans in that. I cooked my bacon in that first because it's got high sides and doesn't splatter everywhere. And it's got a colander in it and a steamer. So it's a 3-part with a lid. And that lid works on my iron skillets. So those are my main things. And then I have Visions cookware. I have a 2-quart saucepan that I use for just about everything. I mean, I boil eggs in that. It's just and then I have a 1.5 quart Visions double boiler because Robert likes a double boiler. I got rid of our old double boiler, and he really likes having a double boiler for melting chocolates and different things. Even soups we will do in a double boiler so that it doesn't stick. So, And then I have lots of serving things. But that's the majority of my, and I have a little tiny La Creuset. It's not even, it's probably 2 cups. And it's my oatmeal. Not that I eat oatmeal very often, but I like to melt butter in that, and I like to cook oatmeal in that little tiny Le Creuset pan. So things don't fall out of my cabinet. Everything stacks in itself, and there's some great cookware out there. If you wanted to get rid of all your cookware, there's some great stackable cookware that doesn't take up any room, and that's what I've been seeing in these RVs. They have stackable cookware, which is wonderful. It all nests inside of each other. And play a game with yourself. Maybe you're going to move in a tiny house. Pretend like you're moving in a tiny house. And what pots and pans would you take with you? Yeah. Last night, I watched a lady, and they had taken an old transport van. I mean, it was, they had the handicap door in the back for city transportation, and they had taken one of those and turned it into their RV. And they had a couch, and they had a bathroom, and they had a full-size kitchen. Countertops over here and countertops over there, and she had a little stove that she would pull out, a little propane stove. She would pull out of a drawer, and her husband had done all the woodworking in the whole thing out of cedar, lightweight cedar, and some walnut, and it was adorable. She wanted counter space, and then he even fixed her a drop-down thing that was a cutting board, but she wanted her big pots and pans. She wanted full-size pots and pans, not little stuff, because I don't know how to cook for 2 people. I just don't. I cook for leftovers, and I cook for Thanksgiving, and it takes big pots and pans. My pasta pot is stainless steel, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I've had it 24 years, and I would never be without that pasta pot. And it looks as good as it did the day it was given to us. And it's versatile. Yep. I use a part of it every single day. But you need to declutter the pans you don't use often. And then start thinking about, go online and look on Amazon and look for stackable pots and pans, and you won't have this problem. Is it bad that I have a sense of guilt taking a break during tea time? Yes, that's bad. You need to take a break. It sharpens your axe. It gives you energy. I live on a farm, constantly working, taking care of our animals. I guess because there's always something that I should be doing. Well, the critters will be there when you take a break. Don't feel bad. Set up a schedule for yourself and allot that time in the afternoon and in the morning. You got to get up and get things going in the morning. But as soon as that's over, sit down and eat your breakfast. And enjoy a few minutes to yourself. And then you can start cooking lunch and different things. But don't feel guilty taking a break. Watch the animals. They take breaks. They're not ripping and romping all over the place unless they're goats. But you see them curled up resting. Your cats and dogs do that. Oh, and please say a prayer for Esther's children. They're all sick because they tried to rescue a cat and the cat made them sick. Ezra's back in the hospital. I didn't know cats had diseases like that. I knew about cat scratch fever, and I knew about histoplasmosis from women not being able to clean out cat litter boxes when they're pregnant. But I didn't know cats had diseases in Africa. So take a break. It's good for you. And if you need an excuse, just say, Fly Lady said I need to take a break. And make yourself do it. And plan for your break. Start your water for your tea. I have a wonderful teapot that I just flip a switch. It comes on and it boils the water and then it cuts itself off and then it sits there and I'll pour my tea, put my tea bag in my cup, and I go through the process of making my tea, which is really blessing me. What's the best use to clean hardwood floors, the rubber sweeper or the big mop? They're both good. The big mop I use with, where is my mop cloth? This mop cloth on the big mop is amazing. And it will clean things. If you've got some spots on your floor that need scrubbing, you can put some water down with the rubber sweeper. Here's a rubber sweeper. And you can scrub it with this. I use this on my bathroom floor, not hardwood floors, but you could use it on your hardwoods. I've noticed that I've got some dog slobber dribbles by my chair where Tulip wants a treat and the Pavlovian effect happens. She can't wait to get her treat. Anyway, so both work. Just pick one up and use it. Pick one up. Don't, your perfectionism is getting in the way again. Don't do that. Okay. I know you say to stay stocked up on groceries, but I honestly shop twice a week to feed my family of 9. Do you have any suggestions? Feeding a family of 9 is tough. Yep, it's tough. I have been enjoying getting these meat subscriptions, like with Moink or what's the other one? Butcher Box, and so that comes in. I put it in the freezer, and Robert says we're getting a lot of food, and I said, yeah, we're going to need it this winter, and we cook more in the wintertime because I like to make big pots of stuff, and that gets me a supply. You have your basic things you like to cook. Spaghetti sauce and stuff like that keeps. When you buy one, get 2. Get 2. Put one in reserve. And that way, you may pick one meal each time you go to the grocery store that you're going to get double of. So if you're going to get pasta stuff, and I buy pasta like in a dozen at a time. You can catch it on sale. My mother-in-law, Justin's grandmother, Elizabeth, she used to catch coffee on sale, and she would go to the grocery store a couple times during the week to get her coffee and to get her sugar, especially when it was getting to be Christmas time, because she did a lot of baking. And the stuff she used all the time, she stocked up on. When she saw toilet paper on sale, she bought it, whether she needed it or not. So get in the habit of each week stocking up on things that would make good emergency food. Main thing is to be ready. Desperate people do desperate things. And if you have a supply of food in your house to feed your family, you're not going to be desperate. You're not. How do you know if your house is decluttered? Sometimes I look around and I can't tell if I have too many things or too few. I have no way to objectively gauge this. Now, If you have a friend that's more organized, tell her you need your help, need her help. She can come in and with a few changes in things, she can turn your house into a picture that's worthy of HGTV. I'm telling you. They have an eye for it. Maybe go outside and put on a different cap and pretend to be a real estate agent and walk into your house. What would you do? How would you change things to get things ready to sell? I mean, this has got me excited to go into my kitchen and just clear off everything off the counters. I mean, this is so much fun. It is such a fun game to do, is to just go in and clear things off. I've got appliances that need to be put away in different spots because I'm tired of looking at them. But just clear off one area and see how good it makes you feel. Seeing flat surfaces clear flat surfaces, it's contagious. It really is. So y'all, that's all our questions. Look at what we've done. What time is it? Uh-oh, we did about an hour. Liz says it was going to be an hour. I'll see you at 3 o'clock. Start your tea at 2 o'clock to be ready for tea time. And be careful. Don't leave water boiling on the stove. It's a little cool here today, so a cup of tea is going to be nice this afternoon. I love you all. Be good, kind, and sweet. Be good to yourself, kind to others, and let that sweetness, let it just ooze out of you. And everybody's day will be a whole lot nicer. I'll see you later. Bye.